Today I want to try to make banana muffins, which are something that I really miss. I have a recipe that was handed down to me from my pastor's wife, and it was so delicious. And now it wasn't a traditional like muffin. It was more of like a banana bread, like thick and dense. It was so good. So I've taken that recipe and I'm going to try to adjust it and use, where'd my, oh, it's right here. Use this King Arthur keto wheat baking flour, which says that it's 1-to-1, but when I tried using it to make blueberry muffins, it didn't really turn out so well. So I asked AI, like how, like what would you do to make this recipe into like a keto friendly recipe using this flour? And it did suggest using less of this flour than the original recipe calls for of flour, and adding a second egg to the recipe also. Now, I don't have as much banana as my original recipe calls for, so I do have to make one other adjustment, and that is that I'm going to add an extra egg yolk in, and I'm going to add where'd it go? All my stuff should be here, but I got it all over the place. I'm going to add some Greek yogurt to it just to add like what I would be missing because of that banana. I have my bowl here with my banana. I'm just going to get it smashed up. And really the reason I'm making this is because I have like a banana that was, completely black and I wanted to use it. So that's why I decided to make this today. But I have been wanting to try to make banana bread because it is something that I miss. Okay. Then I'm going to add 2 eggs and 1 egg yolk. Ooh, there we go. And then I need to add 80 grams of yogurt. I'm using this Faye, I think is how they say it, yogurt. I usually have Okios Pro Greek yogurt, but that has added protein powder in it, but it's a whey protein powder. So like that, and that'll affect the baking. That will dry it out. Whey gets dry when warm. Okay, so I have that, and then I need a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Get my teaspoons out here, my measuring spoons. My son really likes to use vanilla extract in his protein shakes. I need a 1/2 cup of oil. So the recipe calls for vegetable oil. I'm going to use avocado oil. And then a 1/4 cup of milk. So I'm using Fairlife whole milk. I guess I am making one other adjustment. I wanted to see if I could add a bit of protein powder to this just to like bump up the protein a bit because it's really not going to have much protein. And so I am going to I'll reduce the amount of flour that I use and add in some casein protein powder. So I'm going to use a 1/2 cup of casein protein. And I think I'm actually going to weigh it out. I just feel better about weighing it out. So like I said, I need a 1/2 cup, which is going to be about 55 grams. And then I need 120 grams of the flour. That's a cup is what it's supposed to equal. Oops. And then I need 225 grams of sweetener. So I'm using a monk fruit allulose blend. So the base recipe is 200 grams of sweetener, but because I don't have as much banana, I have to add a bit more sweetener to it. then I think I need salt still. Yes, and baking soda. Yeah, I need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and some baking soda. So for my baking soda, I need a teaspoon. And I need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I am preheating my oven to 350 degrees, and I'm just gonna get these mixed together. It does say that I may need to add more milk if it, isn't quite the right consistency. So we'll see. I also kind of need to be careful. It does say not to overmix with this flour. So, but I think this is the right consistency. So, all right, I'm going to get it into my 12 muffin tins. I've got my tins filled. I actually have enough batter to probably make 2 more muffins, so I'll try that later. I need to bake them at 350 for 20 to 24 minutes. My muffins are done. They took about 28 minutes. They definitely look different than when I used to make this recipe. Like they're like poofy, which is not how they were like in the original recipe. I'm hoping they're still delicious. I'm gonna allow them to cool and we'll see. Just like the blueberry muffins that I made using this flour, they really want to stick to the wrapper. There we go. But I did get it out. I'm going to give it a try. It definitely has like a different texture from the original recipe. The flavor's not bad. And really, the texture's not bad. It's more of like a traditional muffin texture, light and airy. But that's just not what I was looking for. Like my recipe was like a dense banana bread. It was so good. So I wouldn't say it's an absolute failure. I understand that ChatGPT is probably, adjusting to give me a recipe that's like a muffin recipe, but it's really just not what I was looking for. But the flavor is not bad. I do wish it had a little more banana flavor, but again, I didn't use as much banana. I could have maybe added some banana extract, but it's really not bad.